You know what? Now that I'm a better hacker, I'm curious what Doc Marius had on that terminal a while back. I should go check it out. Alright, got it first try.
Dr. Kyoto, Radiant Helix Media Studio, System Online. Received September 8th, 2251. Kevin, it's Adam. We're staying at Jim's in Old Town, keeping a low profile. Been a long day, no leads yet. Checked with some of our contacts in the Heights, but the best thing we've got is to wait for this scumbag in the bar. Maybe he'll show, maybe he won't. Sometimes he comes in selling things people have no idea how he got, so the word is he might have some info on a water chip. Me and Yeti have to go back over there in a bit. Yeti's passed out. I'm trying to stay awake myself. Sometimes I don't know who I'm kidding, thinking I can make a go of this thing. Gotta be tough without Miyaki. Those are some big shoes to fill. How's everything over there with Marius? How's he holding up? Sent September 8th, 2251. Hey Adam, it's Dale. Listen, I don't know if it's too good to be true, so maybe we should wait before we do anything rash. But there's a guy here who's saying he can help us out. Kevin's talking to him now. Did your scumbag come through, or should we see where this goes? Received September 8th, 2251. Dale. Nah, he's a nut job, this guy. If he had a water chip, I'd be afraid to buy it. You think your guy's got something we can use? Sent. September 9th, 2251. Come on home, fellas. I met a man at Molly's. Calls himself Bragg and has a water chip. Barring something unforeseen, we're saved. Just have to get back to this vault. We'll meet you at the rendezvous point. Hurry up, Kevin.
Oh, so this is when they met Bragg when they were looking for the water chip. I see. They really should have gone with that other person, whoever he was. Oh fuck, I didn't realize there was another terminal. Oh, got it!
Brotherhood of Steel, netcode 567, Shotcast. Research update number 1. During the short time I've been here, I've discovered many amazing things. Some good, some bad, but all of them fascinating in some way. To keep the knowledge preserved so future generations may also learn from it, I've written down everything I could. Hopefully the knowledge may inspire younger scientists to create new and wonderful things to move humanity forward. The documents I found told of the pan-immunity Virion's creation and development. It's a fascinating read. Research update number 2. Scientists at Fort Daggerpoint were helping the West Tech facility staff down in what is now the Glow with developing the pan-immunity Virion. From what I read, one of the scientists at the fort was Hector Jefferson, one of the greatest bioengineers of his day. He was attempting to create a retroviral immunity agent to counter the new plague spreading across the US. His notes were top secret and scattered. I can't speak on his success. I only know about them because of Dr. Rossman's adventure to the fort several years ago. He only founded creative papers on that trip. He left the crate here after being disappointed in not finding a cure for the mind virus some Republic prospectors unleashed in the valley. He said there were deeper levels to the fort he left unexplored. Felt like the ghosts were watching them. Research update number 3. I conducted more research on Hector Jefferson, and the new information is quite interesting. Hector's most published discovery at the time was his controversial genetic and DNA cloning experiment. From the reports found, it seemed they were almost successful. The subject is fascinating. And, if it could be done, perhaps we could use it as a means to cheat death. Setting moral issues aside, cloning material is something the NCR could really use. With these abilities, we would never have to worry about not having enough manpower ever again.
Marius, you're a mad scientist. Please don't ever give this power to the NCR. You you aren't neutral if you do that.
Specimen Y-17, Entry 1. The recon team that the Elders sent to Nevada returned today with a pile of artifacts. They act like they're brilliant archaeologists or something, but apparently there was a big pre-war city right in the middle of the desert. All they did was walk towards the huge metal tower sticking out of the sands. The Paladins say this Las Vegas is overrun with the worst sort of tribals, but the city somehow avoided any direct hits in the war. The scribes with them couldn't determine how that might have happened. Either China didn't think it was worth targeting, or there was an advanced anti-missile defense system somewhere in the city. Finding out why the city was spared would seem like a top priority for them, but they were more focused on the power grid in the area. The scribes found a sophisticated series of power lines in and around the city. They're all excited about the possibility of a solar power plant or a hydroelectric dam, but I think the most important artifact from Nevada is what I'll refer to as Specimen Y-17. The recon team found it in a drive-in theater southeast of Las Vegas. It attacked them at first sight, and they returned fire. The trigger-happy brutes couldn't have just subdued it, of course. It was barely functional when they brought it to me. Had a bunch of laser burns, but it was still twitching. Knight Kennan brought it to my workshop, strapped it down to the table, and said, "We got another weird thing for you." Thought it was a feral ghoul wearing a radiation suit at first. It did look a bit like the old hazmat suits with a ghoul stuck inside, but when I took a closer look inside the helmet, I realized it wasn't a ghoul. It was a human skeleton. Still moving. Specimen Y-17, Entry 2. They're mounting another expedition east in Nevada, and there's talk of establishing a permanent chapter out there. The senior scribes are obsessed with figuring out how pre-war Vegas generated its power supply, but it seems like I'm the only one who sees the potential with this Y-17 suit. I'm certain that it was designed to transport wounded soldiers away from the front lines during a battle. It monitors the wearer's vital signs and can detect when they're too injured to continue fighting. Then it uses smart fibers and artificial muscles in the suit to move on its own, presumably walk the wounded soldier to a medical outpost for treatment. Looks like this particular suit didn't make it back to wherever it was supposed to go. It had Y-17 stamped on several of its components, but the team couldn't locate anything near Vegas called that, and there were no tracks that matched the boots built into the suit. It's like it just materialized there at the drive-in somehow. It must have been wandering around on its own for the last 150 years, with the body of some poor buster rotting away inside. I sort of feel sorry for the guy who was stuck in this thing, watching helplessly from inside the suit, bleeding to death, while the suit wandered aimlessly. Its AI was inept, but at least it was determined. Mission accomplished, Y-17. You can rest now. Although the original design was a catastrophic failure, I think the smart fiber concept could be modified for use with Brotherhood power armor. We just have to find a way to make these things work with power armor servos and create a superior AI or personality matrix to run it all. This could be the first step in creating a semi-autonomous power armor suit that learns from its wearer. Specimen Y-17, Entry 3. With a little help from Knight Kennan, I managed to integrate the Y-17 Trauma Override Harness smart fibers into a suit of power armor, and I installed an adaptive personality matrix that's more reliable than the original programming. The suit looks a little weird, but it works. It can walk around the workshop on its own and follow simple verbal instructions. The adaptive personality matrix should be able to learn the skills of the person who wears it, given enough time. If I'm right, it would be able to run the suit when the wearer is unconscious, asleep, or possibly after they're dead. Hypothetically, it could even learn to mimic their personality too, and carry on as a member of the Brotherhood long after its wearer has been buried. This could be the solution to the Brotherhood's underpopulation problem, but wouldn't you know it, the Elders won't let me build more than the prototype. Head Scribe thinks that autonomous suits of armor might endanger humanity's position at the top of the food chain, no doubt. They won't even let me send my prototype into the field unless we have a volunteer to wear it. This could be an evolutionary leap in power armor design, and all it's doing is shuffling around the basement of the bunker. They should just order some expendable idiot to put the thing on and run around the wasteland for a while. Pick some fights, try to get hurt, and see if the suit comes back walking home on its own. Maybe I can find someone that the Elders won't miss. That guy from the Den who's always bragging about how he met the Chosen One seems like a good choice. I could arrange for him to be promoted to data procurement specialist and have him wander around chatting with the s***s about their folktales until someone stuffs a few plasma mines in his pants. No one will miss him yapping about how things were in the back when times.
Ugh, Marius, you seem like such a nice guy. Don't talk about murdering people like that.
Specimen Y17, Entry 4. I got Senior Scribe Abby to promote our volunteer to data procurement specialist, and we convinced him that the new suit of armor is specially designed for his new assignment. Technically, that's true. The suit has its own sensors, so it learns everything that he learns, and the adaptive personality matrix will keep the data secure if he dies. After our volunteer left the bunker, I learned that Night Cannon had taken pity on the sap and gave him an experimental model of a laser rifle with a tri-beam splitter and an overcharged capacitor. Unfortunately, that overpowered rifle is going to keep him alive for longer than I'd hoped. The thing could probably kill a Deathclaw with one shot when fully charged. As a data procurement specialist, he's been assigned on an indefinite mission to acquire information about wasteland history, arts, and culture. No specific date for him to report back in, but hopefully he'll annoy the wrong person soon enough and the suit will walk back here on its own, muttering, "That is a story for another day," over and over until no one's even listening anymore.
I don't like this plan, but going by these logs, at least it didn't seem to succeed. Hopefully he's alive at somewhere. Or at least lives a good life away from the Brotherhood.
So the NCR has finally gone and decided to end it all. What a wonderful world. Let's get down to business. You need a new set of armor, and I have just the thing. I modified my Colossus T-36D armor to fit your unique physiology. It should provide you an advantage against the super mutants.
What? I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Yes, whatever. Shut up. I don't care about the material possession. It's useless to me now. But I want you to promise me something. I want to see the abomination of FEV wiped out forever. As a man of science, it is my obligation to investigate the truth and wonder of the universe, to uncover the secrets of life. When one of those wondrous things has been corrupted, it isn't a sin. It's not an ethical failure. It's a spit in the eye of the universe itself. We are the only true prophets. We are not shiftless venom sellers or sun worshippers. We are wizards. Those with less knowledge are our charges. FEV is more than a man-made mistake. It is the creation of true evil. Your responsibility. If you do no other good in your life, destroy it!
I didn't think you'd care. Alright, I'll make sure it's destroyed. For everyone. For science.
I am so proud of you. You are a true scholar and a valued colleague. Go, take the Colossus. Make these bastards pay.
Alright, I'll head out with the power armor now. Do I need any training?
Yes, here. Take this training manual. It'll guide you on how to use the armor.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna read this manual right now.
An exhausting instruction manual concerning the maintenance, repair, and fitting of various types of power armor. The information seems natural to you. You have received the specialized training needed to move in any form of power armor.
Oh, this armor is gonna be so cool. Kira, look at me! Look at this armor, it's so cool. Alright, guess I'm gonna have to talk to Silverman. Oh, wait. Duville had some terminals I never got to read, didn't he? I'm gonna go check those out. I killed Canton. I should be able to get into this.
RenoNet, version 76, Canton's terminal. If you're not me, stay the out. Mail server. From Paul DeVille. Assignment. Canton, I need you to stay with me at all times. I've received word from my agents that things are going to heat up, and there are a lot of unknown factors coming into play.
Is he talking about me? Am I the unknown factor? Oh right, Canton was Duville's bodyguard.
From Jackie. You fat Listen, hole, just because you have work doesn't mean that you can just up and leave me to wake up in a face full of caps in the morning. Do you think I'm just some cheap, right family My brother will hear about this. Oh, and you better hope I don't get pregnant, because I won't let them brand me a child killer. You are going to take that fall. My brother will hang you. You better treat me with some respect.
Apparently New Reno's not big on abortion.
From GV Graph. Deal DeVille. Mr. Ribfist, we are happy to hear that even in these days, there is still an opportunity to do business among the families. Contact with the survivalists has been made, and we have sampled the energy weapons they have provided us. I won't ask how these raiders got Enclave material, but I know that I am going to deduct the costs of removing these symbols from the weapons from the Senator's commission. Payment will be dropped at the agreed upon location. Gloria.
Oh, so the NCR was laundering the Enclave weapons the raiders got from the Enclave. Not surprising.
From Paul DeVille, Kitchen Food. Canton, just because you are my bodyguard, it does not mean that you are allowed to use my authority and order massive amounts of food and drink from the kitchen. Even I have my limits on this matter. Next time, I will withdraw the amount from your pay. From 0x Dead Beef. LBHEFRPERG.
Well, this looks encrypted, but I mean, since it was sent to Canton, I doubt it's going to be meaningful.
Agenda. 0800, wake up. 0900, work. 1200, work lunch. 1500, lunch with Senator. 1800, dinner with Senator. 2100, night shift lunch. Midnight, bed. Poetry. Roses are red, violets are blue. If you will cough, I'll say bless you.
Well, he was a horrible poet. Alright, well, that was Canton's terminal. There's more over here. Alright, got it.
Welcome, Senator DeVille. Contrail. Rising like the phoenix, people say. To me, they're rad roaches. Since we took over Vault 15, the Cons and Vipers have been out of sight for years. But that's all changed with the Raider Alliance, Mr. Bishop. We have no idea where the Cons are going. I doubt they were aware of L's Dragon's get-together when they crossed our path. Probably just migrating to avoid the NCR, but I like to be sure. We heard they were heading for Arizona. Didn't fit in with the survivalists. I'm casually familiar with the Cons, but their Viper Clan buddies are more of a mystery to me. The last sighting of a Viper pack was a full century ago. Now they're all over the pass.
Mr. Bishop? Wait, I thought Duville was the mob. But he reported to a Mr. Bishop?
She. Today has been an interesting day. Those off-the-grid she Soul has been looking for finally turned up. Working for L's Dragon. Wonderful. I'm curious what reward Soul will give for this information. Better yet, his reaction. The poor general's been desperate for years to find them. Perhaps we could use his weakness to our advantage. Regardless, I do not know why we need him, Mr. Bishop. I'm not sure if you've seen him since San Francisco, but the man looks like a ghoul, not to mention his secret project is too below the belt. In my humble opinion, we, and the Republic, should toss him aside. We don't need him dragging us down to his monstrous level.
I have no idea who he's talking about.
Brotherhood collapse. Another day, another faction disappearing from the West. Then again, the Brotherhood's fall never surprised me. Even before the war, it was inevitable. We're lucky to have good Doc Marius joining Union City. Even more lucky if we can get him to talk about potential Brotherhood bases. Imagine, Mr. Bishop, what we could do with that sweet, sweet power armor. Thinking about the technology we could gain is thrilling. Our army would be unstoppable if we can figure out how they work.
Oh shit. What's Brotherhood seems to be on its last legs. Oh, I'm glad they never figured out how that technology worked. This one was way more difficult to hack than any of the other ones.
Confidential. Keep material classified. Entry 1. Good afternoon, Doctor. Let me cut to the chase. One of my former underlings has brought to my attention an ambitious plan for Vault City's cloning vats. The Vault City Council believes this could benefit the NCR too, and I need your support when we propose a revised trade agreement with the NCR. The cloning vats that Vault-Tec installed in Vault 8 are still in perfect working order, which makes us the only member state in the Republic with cloning capacity. There's more than a few prominent NCR citizens walking around with new hearts and kidneys thanks to us. Our cloning vats, as they stand, can only create replacement limbs and organs, but the techs believe that with some additional resources, we could clone a full set of organs and assemble a whole person. Humanity's gene pool degrades more with each generation, and eventually we're going to start running out of healthy humans to maintain our society. I'm sure you can see how manufacturing our own workforce would be beneficial to the Republic as a whole, and more reliable than your past efforts to reverse genetic mutations. Perhaps you could convince some of your associates in Shady Sands of this.
What the fuck? Doc Marius would flip if he knew they were cloning. I can't believe they had actual cloning working.
Entry 2. My dear first citizen, thank you for making me aware of Vault City's latest contribution to the Republic's scientific community. It not only preserves the gene pool, but might also provide your Vault City with a legal loophole to the Republic's anti-slavery laws. I saw an old holovid in the NCR Cultural Archives, one of the 2D black and white vids. It was about a scientist who builds an artificial person by assembling body parts and reanimating the resulting creature. My understanding is that all the vaults have a complete copy of the pre-war Library of Congress, so you should be able to find that movie, or at least the book on which it was based. Read it. And then tell me if you still think it would be a good idea to build an army of piecemeal cloned slaves. I'll give you a hint about how to interpret the story. The true monster is not the creature on that table.
It's so good to see that somebody realizes how horribly unethical this is.
Entry 3. It has been years since I was first citizen. You can address me as Councilwoman now. I'll do you the courtesy of assuming that your medical license is still intact, Doctor. I'm also assuming that your reply was some kind of sarcasm. I'm too busy to sit through every movie in the Vault 8 mainframe looking for your wise cinematic metaphor. We went ahead with some of the preliminary work on the project, with some help from interested parties in New Reno. There were some difficulties in the process, however, we've significantly improved our understanding of cloning. We have successfully made a functioning cloned brain. It is only a matter of time before we assemble a fully functional body that remains assembled. In the meantime, we intend to apply this new brain cloning tech to repairing robobrains whose organic brains have begun to degrade after being in biogel for too long. We're also open to performing this service for other member states of the NCR. For a price. I'll make sure the rest of the Republic knows that you had your chance to be in on this from the start.
She was right. This legalized slavery. It's person to person, whether it's in a robo-brain or a cloned body. The NCR are total fucking hypocrites. They think they're better than the Raider Alliance, and they permit these atrocities. Just because you dress it up in science and progress doesn't mean it's any less cruel.
Entry 4. No need for that, Councilwoman. My colleagues in the NCR scientific community will be pleased to hear that you have successfully cloned a human brain. A cybernetics project on which I am consulting has some discretionary funding, and if you can do what you say, then we would be interested in subsidizing the development of a single brain, cloned from a sample of DNA that we will provide.
What the fuck? Whatever happened to this is slavery? I thought you cared.
Entry 5. You want to provide the DNA? Do you have some of President Tandy's saliva on a napkin somewhere? The last thing we need is a copy of that old woman's brain in one of your cyborg bodies.
Fucking hell.
Entry 6. My dear esteemed Councilwoman, the original owner of this DNA must remain unnamed, and this project is classified. Refer to it from this point on as Project V13. The blood sample will be delivered directly to you by a young ranger named Helen Tanner. It will not leave her sight during the cloning process, and you must return the original sample to her along with the cloned organ. All further communication will be handled in person from this point on.
Oh no. I think I know who this is. The doctor from Shady Sands? It's Allison V. And Project V13? Isn't that the Vault Dweller that I've been hearing about? So the NCR doesn't officially believe in the Vault Dweller, yet here they are trying to clone them back. Fucking hell. Alice B. You did some good. You were even opposed to slavery. Until the second it became inconvenient for you. Oh, hey, General. I'm almost ready. I just gotta take care of some stuff in town, and then I'll come back to talk to you. You've got a big mess over here. Maybe I should help you clean up. Alright, I got in.
General Silverman, as I understand it, you have received your first promotion from President Peterson for your accomplishments in securing San Bernardino. I wanted to personally congratulate you and hope we can meet sometime soon. Send me a message when you're available, General.
That was probably Duville.
As you requested, sir, we have filed a background check on the Cajun Pass and the nearby city of San Bernardino. Pre-war years. I couldn't find much about San Bernardino before the war, except it was hit pretty hard by a virus. It hosted a strange Hollywood TV amusement park called Giabula, a large train station which earned the town the name Union City, and miles of largely unsettled desert. Recent years, since the Great War, it appeared the place has been a hotspot for tribals and various raiders. The core survivalists, in particular, have inhabited the region since the Great War. As of now, only one tribe is documented, the California tribe out of Giabula. We can assume the others mentioned are dead, moved, or were never around to begin with.
Well, that was what Allison was trying to do, was document the others.
Tax report. Sorry for the delay, sir. Here's the current tax income for this year, as you requested. Please contact me every 3 months for an updated report. Rounded revenue, Q1, $15,000. Q2, $10,000. Desert Ranger support. General, this is Ranger Ace. I have received your message that you're looking for additional support in dealing with the survivalists. I wish I could help, but we only have one ranger to spare. Her name is Ranger Vargas, Snake's kid from Texas. She's one of the best in our ranks. I'll see to it that she does everything in her power to help, but like I said, she's the only one available for now. Until this Arizona militia is dealt with, I don't have anybody else available. Contact me again if you need anything else. Desert Ranger support. Sir, I have updated information regarding our Desert Ranger allies in Arizona. They have reports of a large military group supposedly enslaving nearby tribals and crucifying any who resist. Several Desert Rangers have tried to confront them, none succeeded. Whoever this militia is, their power is rapidly growing and steadily heading in our direction. There is great worry that if this threat isn't handled soon, they'll be on our doorstep.
Oh, that's Caesar's Legion.
Survivalist report. Here is our latest report of the Raiders. There is one big update I think you'll be interested in. Name, Survivalist Raiders, the Raider Alliance. Status, active. Threat, high. Notifications. The Raiders have been reported to be armed with vertibirds. An alliance with the Enclave is very likely. These Raiders have become well armed. It is imperative they're dealt with quickly. There's rumors, though, that they found an old vault in the hills. You figure it's Vault 18? Our long-term investment might be about to pay off. Better give Big Papa what he's owed.
I fucking knew that you knew more than you let on. You knew about the Enclave before I even walked into this office.
Enclave report. Sir, here's our latest intelligence on the Enclave. Name, Enclave. Leonidas Squadron. Status, fragmented. Threat, high. Notifications. Main body of Enclave has been destroyed, but remnants have been sighted at various locations, including San Bernardino. Danger of reforming is possible. I'm sorry we couldn't get more than this, sir. Unless we've signed somebody who's had direct contact with them, I'm afraid we won't get more than a few rumors. Maybe check with that bounty hunter you had snooping around San Fran. She got that key to Fort Dagger Point you were looking for using Enclave maps we'd never seen. Handed them over, but they're encrypted with jargon, talking about some Project Brazil nonsense. I've sent this note along with Senator DeVille's payment.
Yeah, I already knew all that.
Legion report. Name, Caesar's Legion. Status, active. Threat, high. Notifications. The Legion have been reported moving steadily south towards Tucson. All who have crossed paths with them have either been enslaved, murdered, or crucified. The latest reported attack was on the Tucson Raiders near I-8.
Yay.
Vault 18 update. Sir, it seems the Enclave army has located and captured one of the vaults in the hills. My guess, it's old Rossman's vault. If my predictions are correct, any fleeing vault dwellers could be heading in our direction. If so, they shouldn't be hard to miss, since their outfits or pit boys will give it away. If we cross paths with any of them, we'll try to give them refuge at Union City. I just hope we're able to find them first before the Raiders do, or any of those wasteland beasts for that matter.
Oh, thanks for the hospitality. And while you're at it, just blackmail us into serving you in a way that's legally distinct from slavery.
I-15 Battle Report Part 1 Statistics. Sir, here's the report from our latest attack against the survivalist I-15. I think you may like to take a look at it. Confidential. Republic casualties, in progress. Raider casualties, in progress. Raiders captured, none. Enemy notifications. Survivalists seem to be armed with vertibirds. Outcome. Survivalist captain is dead, but their forces have ultimately taken over I-15. I-15 Battle Report, Part 2. Countered. Sir, I spoke with the other officers, and we came up with a plan for the Raiders. But first, I must make sure no survivalists have followed our soldiers back here. If they have, then they could send forces to attack us directly. Once we know for sure that Union City is secure, then I would like to speak with you about our counter strategy, in person, preferably, but it's up to you, sir.
Is this Jameson? Alright. Well, that's all that Silverman has on his computer. Don't mind me just cleaning up back here. He's such an idiot.
Orders from the President. An unusual order came from President Peterson today. He wants my superiors to lead 3 battalions of troops east to Vegas. When I ask the colonel why, he simply tells me it's to control more territory. I tried to convince him that we barely have enough manpower for the land we already have. Controlling more would only cause problems. Despite my pleas, he doesn't seem to listen. Curious why the president is so interested in Vegas all of a sudden. Sometimes I get the feeling this expansion may not be his idea.
Well, it's nice that Silverman wasn't into expanding, but he sure didn't give a shit about the tribes that were already here. And, that's how capitalism sustains itself. It doesn't matter if it wasn't the president's idea. They need to always expand and get more resources in order to survive. Alright, I'm gonna go rest. I'll be right back, Silverman. I don't know if we're gonna make it back from this. I'd like to just chill out and listen to the radio.
Vault locked us in a vault for 200 years. Nothing but the sounds of punk to sustain us. We ate the flesh of the dead, found our way to the surface. From my mouth to your bleeding ear hole, this is Death 98-1.